Let's stop right now. Let's stop being naive.
Warning, warning.
To say that someone's stupid is diminishing the actual corruption in place. To say someone doesn't get it.
Warning, warning.
Only serves to distract us from the true point of the matter. The fact of the matter is, they can't get it because they're paid not to get it. Their very survival on a financial level hangs in the balance on them not getting it. They have to pretend not to get it. Let's get ready to tumble! Ladies and gentlemen, just in. That's some good news for the Democratic Party. Looks as if the quarterback is toast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's something I've been trying to tell people and articulating it. They weren't listening to us. They were not listening to us. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this. Some of us have been saying this for almost a year now. Some of us have been saying it for 5 years. Hell, I started my career in politics saying it. Black people need something for their votes. It looks as if Terry McAuliffe is getting his clock cleaned in Virginia. This is just a precursor, I tell you, just a precursor to what's going to be future ongoings or goings on. This is what's happening, guys. The Democratic Party does not deliver. Therefore, the Democratic Party
Democratic officials, state senators, others, telling me that the Republicans going to win, that kind of weighs heavily with me.
In the late going of this race, as McAuliffe's lead was evaporating, from the Republican we were hearing about parents versus unions in schools and about race. Does that seem to you to be something we'll hear a lot more about as we head toward the midterms?
Yes, I think it will be somewhat refined from what has been determined here in Virginia. There were some rough edges on both sides. Well, the Democrats didn't really even have a plan to refute the attacks on critical race theory and other items that were used to go after school policy. They clearly have to develop one quickly and use it, implement it. For the Republicans, I think they'll want to make certain they refine it in a way that does not suggest that they are being racially insensitive, which some people, certainly in minority communities, did interpret their approach as being.
Larry Sabato.
Oh, in the Virginia race at least, it seems as though the Democrats are flat-footed when it came to challenging or refuting the critical race theory nonsense that has been flying around. Now, we all know, and what the truth is may not always be, or the thing that you think you're arguing about may not be always what the attack is. So, wild instances of people having certain kind of flavor sprinkled into their curriculums in schools has morphed into this overarching idea that the Democrats are somehow the party of black people, like as if they really fight for black folks, as if they are really... So they have these conservative or moderate Democrats thinking and Republicans thinking, which are almost the same thing, maybe barring gay marriage or something. But they have them believing that the Democratic Party is full of a bunch of radical lefties that want to make things equal or make white people feel bad about being white people or make black people feel good about being black people but by still being disenfranchised. And for some reason that sells well. But two things here. First of all, you don't need a good defense if you got a good-ass offense. And the Democratic Party does not have an offense that's empowering. They don't have an offense when it comes to how they run these campaigns and what they run on. I'm trying to tell you guys that I do not believe for a moment, folks, that the Republicans or the moderate Democrats, or whoever they are, who are so turned off by critical race would be so turned off by critical race if Terry McAuliffe had a substantive offering that was going to change the lives of people in Virginia. You got to have something to really offer people. If you don't, they listen to shit like this. But Terry McAuliffe didn't have anything to offer. All Terry McAuliffe ran on, my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, phone number's on the screen, 319-527-6212. Terry McAuliffe ran on Trump is evil. Trump is evil. Now, the only people that still care about hearing that shit are milquetoast Democrats, not young people coming out in droves, which you really need them to do, but they haven't done. But they've come out a little. Like, you haven't done enough. You're not exciting anyone to come out.
I met with a McAuliffe canvasser yesterday in a restaurant, and she said, I literally am going door to door and having to clasp my hands and beg some of these younger African American voters to please go out and vote, and explaining to them what is at stake here, Steph. Anecdotally, I met with a McAuliffe canvasser yesterday in a restaurant, and she said, I literally am going door to door and having to clasp my hands and beg some of these younger African American voters to please go out and vote.
Please vote for us. Please, black people, vote for us. Vote for us. Please, young black person, please come out and vote for us. Please, please, please. They literally had to clasp their hands together and beg for black people to come out and vote for them. And the only reason why you have to beg black people to vote for you is because you don't offer black people anything of substance. No one has to beg when they got something to offer you. When was the last time you really needed something and someone offered it to you? They had to beg you to take it. When has that ever happened in the history of man? When has it ever happened that you were hungry and someone offered you some food and you didn't want it? They had to beg you. Not only did you not want it, they had to beg you to try to persuade you to take the food that you're growling, your insides are growling for. Your very essence, your very survival. Your very life forces wants to reach out of your body and grab the hamburger. Whatever, grab the plate of greens, mixed vegetables, potatoes, carrots, radishes, and what have you. For my vegan friends. My son is vegan. I got a warm spot for him. When was the last time that's happened to you? When was the last time you were thirsty, thought you were going to die of dehydration, die of thirst, and someone said, here goes a nice, cool quart of water. It's got ice crystals in it. And they had to beg you to take it. Never does it happen. But we have such a decrepitly stupid. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. My bad, Johnson. Not stupid. We have such a nefarious party as the Democratic Party that they and the people that report on their behalf will not report it truthfully. So the Democrats are working against their own best interests of winning anything, but the point is they can't offer anything because they don't want to be held liable of actually doing anything. So they can't offer you water, right? You're dying of thirst. They're offering you some charcoal briquettes. That's not what I wanted, but we got a whole box of charcoal briquettes. I'm not trying to barbecue. I need something to drink. No, we don't have that, but we have this. You should take this. You should take these earmuffs. It's not cold. It's 85 degrees. I need water. They won't take the damn earmuffs and the charcoal briquettes. They were offering them. You got to beg them to take them. Of course you have to beg us to take them. We don't want them. Let me tell you what we want. We don't want to hear what you want, says the Democratic Party. We tell you what you want, and now we're going to proceed to shame you for not taking the thing in which we want to give you that you do not want. And that is the story of the Democratic Party. Now, it's not as if they couldn't go and offer you some water. If they offered you water, first they got to get clearance from their lobbyists and from the big people that run the money campaigns. They have to get permission from the true powers that be. Those are the people that hold the purse strings. And those people holding the purse strings says no water, no agua for you, no H2O for you. So it's not a sense. So stop, please stop. Let's all of us commit to stopping saying that Democrats are stupid. They're not stupid. They're bought and paid for, just like the Republican Party. Let's stop it right now. Perish the thought. Stop the nonsense, Johnson. Quit it. Let's stop right now. Let's stop being naive. To say that someone's stupid is diminishing the actual corruption in place. To say someone doesn't get it only serves to distract us from the true point of the matter. The fact of the matter is, they can't get it because they're paid not to get it. Their very survival on a financial level hangs in the balance on them not getting it. They have to pretend not to get it. Have to pretend that we're talking past each other. We have to pretend that we don't understand each other. You understand what I'm telling you? You get it. You understand Democratic Party. The Republican Party is the same way, but they don't pretend to get it. They don't pretend like they're trying to get it. They don't want to get it. There's nothing you can do to make them take it. Fine. But see, the problem is there's already one Republican Party. But the Democratic Party wants to be like the Republican Party, but we already have a Republican Party, so why would anybody want to vote for the Democratic Party? If the Democratic Party is only being a weak pretender of the Republican Party, and plus losing the culture war and all this nonsense that people love to write about that gets ink. It gets ink. It gets ink when you have these battles, these culture wars. When you want to sit around and talk about what some comedian said one night and make that the focus point of your whole fucking party for the 2 weeks up to this election. How stupid was that? And then to basically lose the argument. Yeah, I'm saying it. You don't think that has a bearing on people's psyche? You don't think that has something to do with it? I think it has something to do with it, Johnson. And now they want to blame black people. Well, here you go. They're putting up black people. Black people problem. It's the black people coming out. It's the lack of black people coming out. That's the problem. Has to be the problem. It could never possibly be the Democratic Party themselves. So we got the media already running interference preemptively. Terry McAuliffe offered nothing. He's just as Republican as a Republican. So why have him? Got this guy Youngkin that I know nothing about. He ran on critical race theory. It's horrible for you. Terry McAuliffe ran on Donald Trump. It's horrible. A ghost. Donald Trump and Trumpism is a problem. Well, just so happens, of course, we got more people that who want to keep the balance of power safely in the white area with white folks. They were a lot more enthusiastic than the people that were so pissed off about Trump. There it is. End of story. There it goes. I solved it all. We wrapped it up. All the people that you're paying NBC, MSNBC, and CNN to have these conversations, everyone that's going to fly in, all the panels that they're going to run, I just solved it for you. For free right here on the Tim Black Show. You guys feel what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Does that make sense? The Democratic Party is reaping what it sowed. The roosters came home to roost. Hitching your wagon to Joe Biden. There's nothing to hitch. It's a hitchless wagon. Donald Trump endorsed this guy, Youngkin. Even didn't Obama come out for Terry? Everybody came out for Terry. They were selling nothing. Man, I like Nas too. I like Nas. I like Rakim. I like KRS-One. I'm an old hip-hop head. But you bring them all to the stadium to perform and they don't do any songs, I want my money back. So you can bring out all these Democrats you want to bring out. Even if I do like them, they ain't selling me anything. Helping you win is not exciting. You making sure I win is exciting. These people are Hillary Clinton all over again. Did Hillary run twice? Did we already learn this? Don't we already know? Don't you know? Your slogan, Terry McAuliffe's slogan might as well have been, I'm with him. Well, I'm with the guy who was with her who lost, but now be with me. Come on, Johnson. Come on, Johnson. Here goes your best piece of editorial on this you're going to find. The best piece of commentary you're going to find. Terry McAuliffe's his slogan should have been, I'm the guy with the woman who lost. Now be with me. But you know, I'm gonna be fire and electric on these panels, but they don't want me, do they, Isaiah Washington? They don't want me. Why, Isaiah? Because I'll say some real shit. They can't have no real shit said. We can't have real stuff. What's that? Someone saying something real. We can't have any real thing. So we can't have real elections. We cannot have real elections because we don't want to have real politicians. We can't have real commentary because we do not want a real critical analysis of what's going on. And we don't really want to know what's going on because we don't really want to fix the problems, and we don't really want to win either. So that's all this is happening at the same time, Johnson. I don't want to bore you anymore with this. McAuliffe is done. Next story.